Hi, Speeders. Welcome to another episode of Speeder Talks, where we talk about cars, work, career, philosophy, and everything else in between. Today, we're hosted by Two Sudirman Private Residences, Jakarta's newest prestigious address at Jalan Jenderal Sudirman No. 2, soon to be the highest private residence tower in Jakarta. It's developed by Mitsubishi Estate from Japan, so you'll know it'll have world-class facilities. The tower will be a mixed-use development, so you'll have an apartment, office, Andaz hotel, and retail all in one exciting address. Don't forget to check them out on our link below. And today, of course, for our caffeine fix, we're also supported by Nitro Coffee. So special thanks as well to Corksicle for providing these delightfully designed mugs, or rather, my tumbler, to keep our drinks hot or cold. Now today, we always say we have a special guest, but this one goes way back to the early Speed Creed days. A good friend of mine. We don't see each other often, but when we do, it's usually a conversation that's to remember for many years to come. Next to me, we have William Wijaya, or also known as Bakajin, bro.
Hey, bro.
Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
Oh man,
Thank you for
it's
having
been
me.
dude. It's epic because we've been arranging this for some time. So I really appreciate your time. I know you have a busy schedule. You're a busy man, but with a busy man also comes a lot of cars under the collection. So I want to reflect back, like kita terakhir ketemu dulu pertama kali itu 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
I still remember all the cars. The blue R34
Yeah.
GTR. You were driving the 599, the CL 600. I remember that. So guide me through all the collection that you had at that time. Those were the cars. So you've been a car guy for decades, man.
Forever, basically. Yeah. As long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And you had the R34 tuh dari awal kita ketemu.
Dari
had
awal
it,
udah
right?
ada. Gua R34, I bought the car back in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
So quite recently, before our first meeting, like that.
Correct.
And you had the Supra as well?
Yes, the Supra as well. MK4. Yeah.
This is a true car guy at heart, so I'm intimidated to even like begin the journey of our conversation. But guide me through the collection, bro. Jadi you're a JDM guy at heart, or what is it?
I started with JDM back then. Yeah, jadi my first JDM sports car. I'm guessing it was a 2000 Toyota Celica. So it was
Okay.
not really a sports car, but during that time, with my age itu consider sports car lah.
Yeah.
Buat gua gitu. Jadi since then Subaru, the STI, then like
I remember that.
some Civics,
Yeah.
and then after that then we goes to the 90s JDM stars lah ya, yang AX7, Supra, NSX, the Skyline R32 gitu. Jadi ya mulainya everything dari JDM lah.
Because in the US, I remember you were driving the STI too,
The STI,
right?
yeah,
And you had that wing that's super unique and the chrome wheels. And
Yes, correct.
I remember that. Jadi lo bawa a lot of what you learned in the US back
Yes,
home tuh.
Betul. Jadi basically back in the US, I had an opportunity to own many JDMs
Okay.
that came from Japan.
Yeah.
It was not as expensive, so I can learn to modify the wrong way. I tried so many wrong ways. Then finally, I think I might get it lah, how to modify the car properly.
Okay.
Gitu.
And yeah, labor in the US is not cheap.
Labor is
bro.
not cheap, so we have to do everything ourselves.
Okay.
Jadi benar-benar di sana tuh you learn a lot about cars, how to do it, how to change, how to swap the engine, how to install body kits, how to basically do everything. Just invite friends, couple beers, pizzas, then everything's done. So no labor involved.
Oh gitu.
Betul.
Okay. So what years were you in the US, and which city was it?
2003 to early 2010. So I was in
lumayan,
Washington.
7 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
US. Yeah.
And how was the car scene there? Did you get around to knowing a lot of the local guys,
Yes,
atau
it was-
Indonesians, Asians?
Mostly because I used to live in the boonies basically ya.
Okay.
Jadi nggak terlalu banyak teman Indo karena basically they don't want to come to my place because it's way too far.
Oh, okay.
Ya, jadi banyak ya local people, and then I was also grateful because Washington is like across the border from Canada,
Yeah.
where they have like all the JDM cars. They can import JDMs freely to Canada. Jadi during that time we had an opportunity to import some of the JDMs from Canada as well. Jadi right-hand drives in the US, so it was good time.
Okay. So that was, and before that, I'm sort of backtracking here.
Yeah, it's all good.
You were into cars since you were a kid, or what's the story? Okay, did it suddenly flourish as you were? I'm guessing for college and uni, or you were there?
Oh yeah. I was there for college and uni.
Okay.
Yeah, jadi but maybe if you know my friend Dwi, also yeah. So I used to go to school with him back in the middle school. So that's where our journey begins,
Oh, gitu.
basically. Yeah.
Oke.
Like kita ya bocah-bocah belajar bawa mobil, jadi
Di sini,
in
in
Indonesia, in
Indonesia,
Jakarta
in
gitu.
Jakarta.
Jadi kita ya ada mobil lah, nyolong mobil di rumah, belajar nyetir di komplek. Jadi
Okay. Oh, you guys go way
since then
back.
lah, yeah,
Okay.
like way back. Jadi after that, then dia ada mobil pertama, gua ada mobil pertama, then we start modifying our cars. Ya.
What was the first car, bro?
Kebetulan mobil gua sama dia dulu sama, it's a Mitsubishi Galant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. V6 or the...
V6.
Oh,
V6.
okay.
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 Kebetulan mobil sama. After that, After that, I moved to Celica. Setelah Celica, then I moved to the US.
Okay. And then you got a bunch of JDMs.
Yeah.
You went back, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
So what do you still have since the Speed Creed days when we started until now? Itu yang masih ada. What stayed around? The CL600 is gone, I heard.
Yeah, it was gone. The R34 was gone.
Oh, so iconic,
it was-
bro.
It was just the buyer called me at the right time, basically. Jadi R34 gue waktu COVID itu ada problem. I tried to fix basically the transmission broke. So I need to find new transmission, but it was during COVID.
Yeah.
Parts was really rare, and then there's pretty much no way to get it back on road. And then a good friend of mine from Surabaya called. He made me an offer. It was good, but yeah, timingnya pas aja buat dia, and it was really bad timing for me.
Okay.
Jadi gue lagi bete-betenya lah sama mobil itu.
I see.
And then during that time kan RWB gue baru jadi juga. Jadi I enjoyed driving the RWB, the R34 nggak jalan. So I'm like, you know what, it's okay lah, I let it go. Cuman nyesalnya sampai hari ini.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You
It was
missed
such
that
a
car.
special car.
It's a special
Yeah.
car. You held on for that car for more than 10 years then?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, over a decade.
Is that a general way that you keep your cars to long term, Will? Atau
Mostly yes. Jadi banyak kan orang bilang tuh gue beli gue nggak jual. Tapi but certain cars to certain friends, yeah,
you do let go?
I do let go.
Yeah, because we have two types of characters that sit on this couch, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
either the ones that go, oh yeah, I have it less than a year, less than 2 years, gue
Yeah,
pasti
yeah.
switch, I get bored.
Right.
Or guys like you and me who stick to their cars, pasti sama,
Exactly.
pasti ada mic the mobil.
Masih itu aja kan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a sense of not belonging, but attachment lah to the
Yeah.
cars. You're emotionally involved.
Betul.
Okay.
Like the CL600, I let it go itu juga after because my dad got the car new back in 2003. Jadi basically
wow, okay.
it was
Pas lo di US
in
dong?
our possession tuh. Enggak, kita let go itu actually after my 34. So it's the same guy that bought the car.
No
Jadi,
way. Wow.
So we held on to that car quite a
It's a
while.
long
Quite a
time.
while, yeah. Like 19 years.
Yeah.
And 13,000 kilometers on the...
Gila.
Yeah, jadi
Wasn't it like purple or something?
it's silver.
Oh, it was
silver,
silver. Okay.
Classic silver.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the car that you've held on the longest right now in your collection? Doesn't have to be the one in your garage now. Maybe in your lifetime. Okay. This is a...
I think my STI in the US, yeah. I still own the car.
You still own the
Yeah, I
car?
still own the car. Yeah.
Still in Washington?
Still in Washington.
Okay, so you have a place there, you just park it there?
Yes. So I have a friend that taking
care
care of the car.
Wow.
Yeah, jadi when I do get back there, then I can still drive the car.
And you still find the enjoyment in driving that
Yes,
car?
Yes, very much so.
What made it so special? That car? Is it your first yang lo
It
belum
was,
modif?
it was the first car. It was where I tried so many different things. Jadi that's where I actually learned a lot about cars lah. How to do car, how things works, what works, what doesn't work. Jadi a lot of experience. Yeah.
Ya. I always say kalau mamanya orang-orang yang ada a lot of car collection, usually within the public eye, there's only one car that attaches to your name and and your persona. So I'm guessing in the US that was that car.
Yes.
And then it switched to the R34 for
Correct.
some time. Oh, the SDI for some time
Yeah,
here. It
SDI
was
for
pretty
some
iconic to you.
Yeah,
waktu
yeah,
itu
yeah.
kan. And then it was the 599 never really caught on as you and 599. It was
Yeah,
more like
it was just a
R34.
apa ya 599. It was we never owned a Ferrari before. Jadi my dad juga pengen nyobain like what's a Ferrari like.
Okay.
Jadi basically sebenarnya mobilnya dia sih, gua nebeng make.
Okay. Panas-panasin lah ya.
Panas-panasin lah.
Panasin mesin.
After I think we owned that car for a year lah. Jadi kita nyoba how.
Not that long ya.
Not that long.
Okay.
What the Ferrari likes, but it was not such a good experience. Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Jadi we bought high, we sell low.
Okay.
Jadi
It was cutting losses sort of deal.
correct.
Okay. It was what, like the maintenance, the drive itself, or
The drive was good, maintenance okay, but it's just apa ya? It's terlalu mencolok kali ya.
I see.
Ya,
Okay, that's what I was guessing. Yeah. Everyone knows a red Ferrari when they see one.
betul.
Okay.
Jadi we prefer something more low profile.
And that's why we have an RWB outside. Very low profile.
Beda lah.
Beda.
Kayak RWB is more like it's a regular Porsche, and then
True.
you apa ya? Basically, yeah, it's modified to look that way.
Yeah.
Beda kalau Ferrari kan, it's
The prestige-nya, yeah.
prestige-nya beda lah.
Yeah. Okay, so it became the R34 before, I think, then the flagship collection was your
Yeah,
RWB lah ya. Is that correct to say?
Yeah,
Or was there something in between?
Enggak lah.
Enggak.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me more about the RWB second one. This is the second one, not
Second
even
one,
just
second
one.
one.
This is a Tsubasa
Yeah,
that
Tsubasa,
we saw
second
outside, the
Correct.
beautiful green.
Thank you.
What started the journey? So you start with Tsubaki first, the
I
blue
started
one,
with
right?
Tsubaki, so back in 2008, I believe. So like I saw back
2008.
then 2008. Jadi
Okay.
zaman itu ya internet ada, forum ada, but it wasn't as easy as today to find information on things. Jadi zaman dulu tuh masih ke the Japanese bookstore lah ya, yang ada majalah-majalah gitu. That's where I saw RWB, and it was just wow, it has such a big impact. Jadi on the pertama kali ngelihat gitu, I knew like okay, this is what I want to do someday.
Wow. Okay.
Someday, one day. Jadi after that, we had the chance to go to Japan to visit the RWB headquarters. Jadi back then, gua ngelihat harganya dibanding other body kits itu jomplang sekali, harganya jauh banget. Jadi gua merasa oh mahal sekali, but I need to know what makes it so special. I mean it does look good, but does it perform? Jadi kita ke sana ketemu Nakai. Back then Nakai belum bisa bahasa Inggris at all, so we had to use translator.
This was when? What year was this?
2008.
Okay,
Jadi
okay.
back then tuh belum ada any RWB outside of Japan.
I see. So you saw it in magazines,
Yes.
and you flew to Japan. And you met
Yes,
him. Okay.
correct. Met him. Look at the car. How he built the car. After that, it make a good impression on me. Jadi
What was the cost of the kit back then, like 2008, for
14,000.
14,000? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that time, kayaknya masih dollar was like what, 13 thou or something, 12 thou maybe.
11, 12.
11, 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jadi back then aja itu udah considered quite expensive
Yeah,
ya.
yeah.
Ya, jadi I ya mesti lihat dulu lah secara langsung. But after that I decided okay, one day someday gitu. Then back to 2012, I guess.
Okay.
After I met you, of course, with
Yeah.
the 34, then I was like, okay, I have enough money now. Let's make a RWB.
Okay. Oh, it's as early as 2012.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's early as 2012. Gua mulai hunting mobil, a 993. Back then, actually, I wanted a 964 first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jadi
the bad boys car.
bad boys car, betul. Tapi considering we're in Indonesia, there's not much option to choose. Jadi whatever on the market, that's it gitu loh.
Okay.
Kita nggak terlalu bisa milih ya what we want. A good friend of mine also own a 993
Okay.
back then. Jadi itu tapi gua hunting 99 an air-cooled Porsche itu since 2012. Gua baru dapat itu di 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
5
Oh
years.
wait, 2018 actually.
6 years.
6 years, yeah. To
It
look
was
for.
that hard, or were you picky in terms of
Enggak.
No.
That was literally the first car that showed up
No way.
during
Wow.
my hunting
Okay.
period. Yeah.
Tapi lately kayaknya a lot are
Lately
showing up, or
lumayan.
what's going on kira-kira?
Lately lumayan banyak ya. Mungkin I don't know where the cars came from. Mungkin personal collection or something.
Okay.
But lately lumayan banyak lah. Tapi maybe juga because harganya itu udah menarik untuk dijual.
I see.
Ya, kalau back then harga masih quite bersahabat lah.
Yeah.
Gitu.
So it took you 6 years. 2017, that's when you finally pulled the trigger
Correct.
on a 993.
Yes. Once I got the car, actually I ordered the kit before I got the car. So I remember 2018 January, there's an opening of a RWB museum in Malaysia.
Okay.
So I went there, I met with Nakai, I met with basically so many RWB people from many countries that was there. Then they pushed me like, you need to order the kit first. I'm like, but I don't have the car. It's like, order the kit, you'll find the car. Trust me, it'll motivate you to find the car.
Okay.
It's like, you know what? Okay, so I ordered the kit. I went back to Indonesia. Within 2 months, I found the car.
So istilahnya kalau beli laptop, beli sleeve-nya dulu.
Betul.
Baru cari
aksesorisnya
laptopnya.
dulu ya.
But it was fit for a 993 lah. You already
Correct.
knew that you had your eyes on a 993.
Correct.
Does it make for any other models?
Basically all air-cooled.
All air-cooled, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All air-cooled 911s. Yeah.
Okay. And then it took you how long after you ordered the kit to find the car? Atau you had a lead back then? Atau zero leads?
Jadi benar-benar 2018 January gua order the kit, 2018 March gua dapet, and 2018 December itu mobil gua udah dibikin.
So 9 months of work.
9 months of work to prep the car.
Wow.
Itu mepet, but luckily the base car-nya itu quite in good condition, jadi nggak terlalu banyak PR lah.
Okay. So you had a shop to restore atau udah cukup?
Like a bit of restoration.
Okay.
A bit of restoration.
Before you...
Not major one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jadi 2018 was the year you did Tsubaki.
Betul.
Okay. And so kan itu 9 months
Yeah.
of work. Itu you send the car to Japan atau you call?
So when we ordered the
Nakai-san.
RWB kit, basically included in the price is termasuk biaya dia untuk datang dan masang.
Okay.
Jadi flight, everything udah covered.
Included.
Okay.
And at that time, he obviously have installed outside of Japan juga ya.
Betul.
Maybe he started doing that 2010, 2012 kali ya.
Yeah, 2011 I think.
2011.
Yeah, that was the first time dia
Mulai keluar.
keluar, and Indonesia was one of the first country yang di-visit juga.
Okay. So the first RWB di Indonesia, kalau nggak salah di
Bandung.
was what year? Well, do you remember?
2011 I think.
Oh, 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
Okay. So you're number what di Indonesia nih, Tsubaki? 7 already?
7.
Banyak juga ya?
Lumayan. Karena Terror Garage itu kan number 1 to 4 itu mereka sendiri.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's number 5 from Jogja, number 6 from Bandung also, then it was me, number 7.
So you're the first one in Jakarta, though.
First one in Jakarta.
And I remember you sort of made a whole event out of it, right? With him installing it, or was that the?
It was actually
Subaki.
supposed to be a private event.
The photos got around.
I know. Jadi ya
Okay.
zaman itu ya apa ya kayak Instagram itu baru
Yeah.
mulai meledak gitu. Somehow it was supposed to be a private event, but words got around. Jadi itu di depan PAD di Jalan Hang Lekir itu packed banget. Iya. And it was lumayan crazy.
It was crazy. I
time.
remember that.
Yeah.
And then you chose a few like things on the Subaki, like the Indonesian art. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Itu after that, right? You sort
Enggak,
of perfect, or it was all
it was
during-
already on the car during the installation.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just try to during the 9 months of prepping the car, gue juga mikir what can I do to make this car
Unique.
stands
And localized.
Stands out lah, yeah, localized.
Okay.
Begitu.
And then after that's done, you decided to do a second one.
Yeah.
And then what happened? After that, what made you like, I want to do a second one? Like it was just too amazing. Like you liked
So-
everything about it.
Yeah, so back when Nakai was installing Subaki, he also shared some story that he wants to do 997.
Okay.
So, tapi dia bilang, I don't know whether I have time to develop the kit or not, but I want to build a RWB 997.
So departure from his air-cooled philosophy,
Betul.
basically.
Just
Okay.
because, I guess he's kind of getting a bit older nowadays. Jadi dia juga bilang 997 is so much more comfortable. Jadi mungkin ya
Okay.
udah umur kali ya. Jadi
Okay.
mungkin lebih nyaman juga naik 997. But during that day, I wasn't thinking that I want to build another one yet. Jadi setelah itu I enjoyed the Subaki. I drove it to Jogja with couple RWBs.
Wow.
Jadi di sana itu baru terasa this car is nice. It's nice. I mean, engine wise, performance wise nggak diapa-apain lah. Gue cuma ganti knalpot aja, but just the way it drive, I feel like it's nicer than stock. Just because
Really?
we have wider tires, then it's secara handling itu very very nice.
Really?
Very, very
You wouldn't experience understeer with that wide stance or anything? No.
No.
Wow. And Subaki, the width of the tire at the back is?
335. So it's the same tire from Murcielago.
Murcielago, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are wide
Yeah.
tires. Those are wide. And in front?
In front is 265.
Oh, 265. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see why you keep asking me about tire sizes. 'Cause it's so unique.
Yeah, betul. Very, very, very hard to find the tires.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Tapi yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
So your second one, Subasa,
Tsubasa.
was what year lo mulai projectnya? So you secured the car first this time, or did you?
Yes, yeah. So basically, back to the story where I sold the R34.
Yeah.
Jadi after I received the money, the car was picked up basically the next day after the payment.
Oh wow.
Like
Okay.
it happened like that. Like
Okay.
the next day I woke up like, oh, my car's gone. Like jadi di situ, nah itu penyesalan mulai datang, dan I start looking around calling people like what cars available. Then I remember, actually during that time during COVID, Nakai finally find time to develop the kit for the 997.
997.
Jadi basically kalau nggak ada COVID, maybe nggak ada RWB 997 gitu. Jadi during that time, Nakai message me, hey, kit's almost ready. Then I look at the car, it's a Carrera. Then gue mulai hunting lah 997 any kind. Tapi waktu itu Nakai cuma bilang it only works for 997.1 non-turbo.
Okay.
Ya udah gue mulai nyari-nyari, ada dua mobil yang mau dijual, but both are 997.2 and both are turbos.
Okay.
Jadi yang satu gua udah deal harga gua cocok, gua mau bayar, but the seller backed out
Okay.
because I want to cut the car.
Okay, fair enough. So
Ya, jadi
you must have had like some sort of attachment to the car that don't ruin it, continue it. Okay.
betul. Jadi ya dia more of a purist lah ya. Jadi
Okay.
dia juga sayang mobilnya, mungkin takut lah kalau mobilnya dipotong-potong kayaknya.
Right.
Then came the second one, Om Nanang. Gue ketemu ada mobil 997 Turbo and dia practically used the car only at the track.
Okay.
It was 9,000 kilometers.
Wow.
Mobil juga udah di white body sedikit lah ya. Dia make kayak GT3 Cup punya over fenders.
Okay.
Jadi it's the perfect car buat RWB. Jadi nggak ada yang perlu disayangin lagi.
Yeah.
Gitu, it's
Now,
not-
in over fender tuh he had to cut juga
Iya,
atau enggak?
iya.
Wow,
He had to
okay.
cut.
So
Both
his
front and rear udah dipotong.
okay. So
Gitu.
halfway there already.
Betul.
Okay.
And the car was just really raw ya. Jadi no tape, no stereo, no speakers.
Oh dia udah.
Udah, ya, jadi
dia udah got it out.
Iya,
basically.
jadi udah it was the perfect car. Jadi menurut gua nice, very nice. Gua datang ke sana, nawar di tempat, langsung
Deal.
Gitu.
And then langsung. And
Langsung,
so
but-
Nakai-san was okay to adjust the
Enggak.
kit.
Jadi
Oh no.
during that time gua pikir eventually Nakai will build a turbo
Okay.
juga kan. Jadi ya udah, at least I secure a car first karena pada saat gua mau deal itu udah gua tahu ada beberapa yang lagi ngincer mobilnya juga.
I
So I
see.
have to make a move first.
Okay.
But after that, I informed Nakai, I found the 997 for RWB, but it's a turbo. Then it's like, oh, okay, I need time. I need to find another turbo so I can develop the kit.
Okay.
Then come 2020, like a year and a half later, maybe. Then he sent me a picture. It's like, I completed the turbo.
Okay.
Begitu.
This is what year again?
2022.
2022. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 years after
Yeah, 4 years
Tsubaki.
Betul.
And then the rest is history.
Betul. Then after that, Nakai already know what kind of RWB I want to build. Tapi back then tuh Nakai baru selesai yang street version.
Okay.
Jadi dia bilang,
And yours is not the street.
no. It was gimana bilangnya ya? So street, I'm guessing it's called version 1.
Okay.
Then came version 2 with the new GT wing, like the wider over fender and stuff. Then I got the version 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted the race side skirt, the one that's currently on the car right now. Tapi itu baru dipasang sama Nakai basically couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pas Nakai
So
lagi
we're
ke
getting a fresh
Surabaya.
look then.
Yes, it's the fresh look. So
Okay.
you got the first shoot of the car basically.
Make sure we get that, guys. The side skirt. Okay. So our team just informed us. So it's almost exactly 7 years ago that
Correct.
Tsubaki was done.
Yes.
Happy
2 days
anniversary,
ago.
bro. 2 days ago. Happy anniversary, I guess. So who picks the name? Is it Nakai-san who picks it or you ajuin atau?
Jadi apa ya? Ini banyak di RWB ini there's so many myths going around. Dari mau order basically banyak isu itu kalau gua mau order RWB kit, then I have to be in a one-on-one interview with Nakai
Okay.
to pick like the color, the wheels, what kind of kit you want to make. There's none of that.
Okay, let's do this. Let's give us 3 myths because
Okay.
there's a lot going on. I
Okay.
know you were pretty vocal on social media with some of these myths, but give me top 3 myths and
Okay.
break it for us.
Okay.
So that's number 1.
Okay, number 1 is about the ordering the kit itself.
Okay.
Jadi basically there's a list of what's available for the kit, then we just pick whatever suits us, I guess.
Okay.
Whatever we want. Basically, Nakai doesn't know anything about the car until he arrives.
Okay.
to
Okay.
build the car. He doesn't know what color, he doesn't know what kind of wheels we're using.
Sengaja dia nggak mau tahu atau?
I guess he's just too busy.
Oh, okay.
He's too busy
I thought he
building
wants
cars,
gets inspiration on the spot. Enggak, he's just too busy to know.
enggak.
Okay.
But he does decide on how to build your car after he sees.
So 100% you give him the authority to take over, ya?
Correct. Jadi banyak, let's say contoh side skirts, ada yang rapi, ada yang di revamp all the way, ada yang karetnya a bit panjang, ada yang karet a bit pendek.
Okay.
Jadi that's his he decide what to do during the build.
Okay.
Jadi he never plans anything.
Okay.
Basically. Okay, so myth
That's number one.
two.
Number two.
Number two, I'd say about the tow hook, I guess. So it's been so crazy on social media. Jadi basically during that build yang yang difokusin Nakai-san was gluing the tow hook and stick it on the car.
Mhm.
Jadi basically di mobil that specific car itu he's using an air suspension.
Okay.
Jadi dia naruh the air tank itu di bagasi depan, which is covering the place where you screwed in the
the tow hook, right?
Yeah. So Nakai don't want to install it. It's like,
Okay.
okay, here's the tow hook. You can install it yourself after
Okay.
you remove the air tank.
Okay.
But during that day, he invited so many medias to cover the car, to cover the build. So he wants the car to be finished.
Okay.
Jadi without the tow hook, it's just not completed.
Not complete.
So he asked Nakai to just make something work, do something to make it work. It's like, okay, so I'll just glue it on. Later you just remove and install it properly.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's when it became
jadi-
viral.
Betul. Jadi whatever you see on the internet ya kadang-kadang begitulah.
Okay.
And people seems like to bash on RWB a lot on the media, on social media, because it gives them so many traffic, I guess, yeah. There's so many likes, so many comments, so many engagement. Jadi people seems to focus on the negative side.
Yeah. With all things that's media related, right?
Betul.
Yeah.
Betul. And the third one, the way people say Nakai is using glue to stick the kit on the car. So basically what Nakai is doing is quite setelah kita ngobrol, kita kan tahu why Nakai-san, why you're using the Sikaflex on the car. But people on the social media thinks it's to stick the kit on the car. But basically without the Sikaflex, everything is fitted properly. Jadi
Okay.
semua udah di-bolt, di-revet. Jadi tanpa Sikaflexnya itu pun no problem.
No problem. Just an extra.
There's actually ada maksudnya dia pakai Sikaflex itu. Jadi basically after you put it on, it acts like a dampener.
Okay.
Jadi it's sort of like a rubber. Jadi pada saat your
It
car
won't
starts,
rattle or
it
anything.
won't rattle, then
Okay.
it won't crack your kit.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually the main purpose of the so-called glue, I
I
guess.
see. So those are the 3 myths, I
The
guess.
myths, I guess.
That's broken right here. Okay.
I guess an extra myth about the name because you.
Okay. Yes. The
No,
name.
not the
Yeah. Let's go
name,
back.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the name Nakai actually don't give out names
Okay.
unless we ask.
Okay.
So jadi most people nowadays we ask for name ya. Jadi we kind of treat the RWB as kind of like an art, a painting, and Nakai-san is the
Artist.
so-called artist. So we want the artist to name the art he made.
Okay. So you asked him in this
Yes.
case of Tsubaki and Tsubasa. You
Yes,
asked him.
correct. And then jadi banyak yang minta nama as in, can you name the car? And that's it.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
Nakai will think of a name to remember the project, or something about the car or the person that owns it, then he'll come up with a name.
Interesting. Okay.
Unless we ask, like in my case with Tsubaki, I asked Nakai to name it after my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Jadi my daughter was born in 2017.
Uh-huh.
Jadi it was kind of like I dedicated the build for my daughter.
I see.
Jadi okay, then based on that, Nakai gave out the name Tsubaki, which is a flower name.
Okay.
Yeah, in Japan.
And
So
Tsubasa
Nakai-
is
so
also...
Tsubasa is also it's for the 997. It's actually for my boy. Yeah. So, but him. Gimana ya? Nakai already chose the name for my next RWB as well. Basically, yeah. Jadi,
So that means you gotta have
Jadi-
another
jadi-
kid, or like...
fortunately, yes. So hopefully one more coming.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Jadi, nama
Is it confirmed or no?
Confirm.
Congrats, my man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Welcome to a family of 5, then. All the best, bro. All the best.
Thank you. Jadi
Nice.
nama first car gua, my second car, and my third car itu satu tim lah. Jadi
Okay.
depannya itu semuanya begins with Su.
So,
Yeah.
so the third one naturally, will be like that too.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're spending a lot of time on this because I'm just so interested in RWB, but a couple more questions.
Okay,
couple more
sure.
questions. So how often do you drive it? How often do you drive these cars?
Every time I have a chance, I will drive them.
Okay.
But as of now, with the busy work schedule and stuff, maybe once a week,
Okay.
once or twice a week.
Each car or either or?
Either or.
Either or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jadi kalau minggu ini Tsubaki, minggu depan Tsubasa.
Okay. Good enough. Okay. And what would you say? We talked about purists a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me a sentence on what would you say to purists who object you doing that to a Porsche.
First of all, it's my car. And secondly, ini yang maybe jadi basically RWB Indonesia ini bakal banyak lahir RWB baru, which
Okay.
most of them were purists before.
Okay.
Tapi I gave them a sentence to think about.
Okay.
RWB will not be forever. Jadi once Nakai-san retires, that's it. No more. But if you want a stock 993, a stock air-cooled Porsches, you can get it in the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Fair enough.
They will still be available.
Yeah.
But once you missed out on the RWB opportunity, that's it.
That's a good point.
You can, of course, you can buy a used RWB from elsewhere, but it's not personalized to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
So take that, purist. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it makes sense.
I do still have the stock OEM air cooled, tapi apa ya? Yeah, I try to build couple RWBs dulu lah. Jadi it's not bukan buat gue apa ya namanya, bukan buat gue flip or I'm trying to get nyari untung lah ke depannya buat dijual beli, enggak, tapi I enjoy it. Jadi dari rekam jejak modification gue dulu cocok lah, sejalan lah,
Yeah.
gitu. That's why I really like RWBs.
Okay. Fair enough. So, what can you disclose to the public? How many cars are in your collection right now?
Nggak banyak lah, cukup aja.
No, I call bullshit.
Cukup aja.
Okay, I like that. Okay. I want to touch. I know we're spending a lot of time again. I enjoy talking about cars. You're a car guy at heart. We met for like a long time ago. I noticed yesterday when we met for our wine tasting,
Yeah.
you brought the Overland project for the Cayenne. So tell me a bit more. Like RW wasn't enough. You're like, I'm gonna create a new sort of
Okay.
project style for the Cayenne. So give me a brief about what's going on with the
Okay.
Overland project.
Jadi selama gue main mobil itu kan, firstly I touched the JDM
Yeah.
cars, and then the Porsche, the Euromarket. Gue nggak pernah nyentuh any Overland Alto kind of car. Jadi during that time, I want to try something new. gitu, touch something that I never experienced before. Then during that time, I guess since I'm already kejebur lah di Porsche world, why not the Cayenne? And they're supposed to be quite apa ya namanya ya, affordable lah.
Yeah.
Untuk saat ini, jadi that's why I picked the Cayenne. I found a special unit, fortunately the GTS.
Very special.
Ya, jadi di situ then I start researching on how to build the overland Cayenne.
Okay.
Jadi ada a couple brands di US yang basically all the parts are available. Jadi gue tinggal bener-bener beli. The only mistake I made, I ordered the wrong tires.
Okay.
Jadi pada saat gue research itu, I saw, okay, this is the look that I want. And it said on the caption, it's like it's using 35 inches tires.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And it was 33. Jadi pada saat datang because gue benar-benar new to this like off-road experience, how to read the tire sizes.
Yeah.
So when they said 33 inches, I thought, okay, it's 33 by 12 and a half.
Okay.
Right? Kalau di off-road tire sizes, ternyata enggak. They just think it's almost 33, but it's not 33.
Oh.
So when they say,
interesting.
So when the 35s came, I tried to put it on the side of the car. It's like, there's no way in hell it's gonna work. Like it's not gonna fit at all.
Okay.
But karena ya udahlah ya, barang semua udah nyampe. What else can we do? Tires juga, as you know, nyarinya susah banget.
Yeah.
Jadi mau nyari ban lagi kayaknya quite a big hassle juga. And those tires are not cheap.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, jadi we try to make it work. A lot of
suspension setup.
Suspension setup, body panels yang mesti dirubah, but maybe 2 months working on the car.
Wow.
Finally,
it looks good, man.
We fit the 35s.
It looks very good. And then you had the side exhaust as well, right? Yeah. So rear bumper is off, side exhaust.
Betul.
Looks good.
It was an experience, a good experience.
But it's done now. The project's done. You're enjoying the car.
Yes,
Well, project's never really done.
Yeah,
but sort of like 90%.
Correct. Yeah, it's there. It's almost there. Almost there.
Looks good. Looks good, man.
Thank you.
And what's the next project you're looking at right now? I know you've done a few.
Okay.
As though RWB is not enough, but maybe you can give us a little.
So there's another RWB, as I told before. That's one, but I'm trying to go back to JDMs. Like I miss the JDMs. Like I felt like I left the JDM world for way too long. Yeah. So back to
your roots, huh?
To the roots. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you do a lot of projects. Just maybe for the audience to know, like if someone wants to consult you, do you help them sort of like revamp the car, find the car? Like, do you do anything in that?
I used to do it professionally, but nowadays, like I just like this, just like conversation.
Yeah.
I give them suggestion on what to do, but back again, I always tell them it's your car. So,
yeah.
Build the car to represent yourself, don't build a car to please other people. Like, I don't care what other people think of my car, but as long as I'm happy with it, so be it.
Fair enough. So make sure you guys hit him up, but make sure you give him some wine or something in between. Beers, from beer to like wine tasting. You know, some things don't change. But okay, I want to talk about the Seiken. Seiken is how you pronounce it? Seiken. It's a Japanese brand, and it's for engine oil, right? So we see that on your car.
Yes.
Tell me about that a little bit. So there are a lot of oil producers. What made you decide that it should go into
Okay, so Seiken is a Japanese brand. So we used to get the license to produce back then. But after that, about maybe almost 10 years ago, Seiken Japan finally becomes a shareholder in Seiken Indonesia.
Okay.
Jadi ini udah bukan just not just a license lagi, tapi it's already udah jadi part of Seiken gitu. Jadi kita supply Indonesian market, overseas juga, abroad. Kita awalnya fokus itu nggak di engine oil justru.
Yeah.
Jadi we produced brake fluid and radiator coolant. Jadi those two are our main products. Yeah, and we supply mostly to OEM.
I see.
Yeah.
And so this is a family business that
Yes,
you
it's
did.
a family business.
So it's from your dad or?
It started back in the early 90s.
Okay, so not that,
early
not
90s.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my dad started it.
And then you joined in, and then you developed. So you are the extension that evolved the business into more.
I mean, my dad's still involved in all our companies.
Okay.
Tapi we try to bring the different generation ideas, I guess. Yeah, and so far kita combine lah. Like, I mean, obviously what they did before was not wrong. That's why it berkembang jadi kayak sekarang. But we also want to make it yang mungkin karena different generation, we have different way of thinking, different way of marketing, different way of products buat ke customer. Jadi that's where I came in to help.
Okay.
Ngegedein company. And that's where the engine oil came in. Jadi even Seiken Japan doesn't sell engine oil.
Really?
Yeah.
Jadi
so
khusus di sini aja.
Khusus Indonesia.
And that was a push that you made for the company to go. Why? Because there's a lot of us. Isn't it saturated? Like, why lo mau compete in the market?
Tapi I like technical stuff on so-called chemical stuff like engine oil and stuff. So jadi kadang-kadang kita tuh nyoba beli oli apa, kita tes di lab. And sometimes produk yang di package and the isi itu is not the same.
Well, we as Indonesians know more than that. We'd like, but that's true.
Jadi I say kita coba aja, kita coba tap into the new market lah, to expand the company juga. Tapi ya so far so good. Jadi engine oil kita lumayan diterima. Jadi kita nggak cuman fokus ke mobil motor, but we also the trucks, industrial machineries.
I see.
Jadi oli kita bisa dipakai di basically anything. Tapi kita nggak nyentuh the niche market ya, karena kita tahu, let's say like European brands. Kita kalau buka kap mesin gitu biasanya udah ada logo oli.
Yeah.
Like what they recommend.
Yes,
Jadi agak susah untuk nge-tap to that market karena
I see.
People tuh udah nempel lah brandnya.
Yeah.
Ya kan, jadi we tap into the
more of the mass market or
for the mass market ya. Terutama untuk kayak truk tambang, untuk truk ngangkut kan di sini truk itu mostly overload. They need good engine oil juga to run.
Okay.
Jadi kita tap into those market, the daily cars, the motorcycles.
Okay.
So far, so good. It's been growing since we launched the product. Every year is growing. Jadi
that's good.
It's good.
Wow. So you were mentioning tadi your family basically owns a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Are they all in the same industry, like same space for like automotive OEM, atau it's a
bukan mostly sih, actually all of them is automotive related.
Oh gitu.
Yeah, automotive.
And this goes back
from
how many?
Dad.
From your dad?
From since the 70s.
70s. Okay. So you produce things for OEM cars.
Yes, for OEM.
Export juga atau mostly domestic?
Export tadinya ada, tapi sekarang kita lebih fokus national aja lah.
National.
Karena national pun the market is so big, like we can cover them all.
Yeah. It's like China, like you don't need to export. It's like
domestic market aja tuh masih cukup nih. So I don't think we need to go.
And out of all of these companies, which one do you think has the product yang there's always one yang you sort of like, this is our trophy business?
I guess just because everything is so related, jadi it's ya udah jadi satu
Satu paket.
lah.
So when you approach a buyer, I can give you this end to end ini, lo mau yang mana aja, something like that.
Betul.
Okay.
Betul. So like trucks, we produce the wheels, we produce the suspension parts, then all the chemicals on it like brake fluid, the coolant,
Everything.
yeah.
Okay.
And
And
bolts and nuts juga.
bolts and nuts juga.
Bolts and nuts. Wow. Jadi,
So is it more of a, because I'm guessing your clients are few but large, or ya kan, few but large. So it's more answering to the demands that they need, that you produce these products,
correct.
rather than you setting the, okay, these are the products we have, let's find the buyer gitu.
Kalau kayak let's say truck wheels, it's always going to be the same size most of the time.
Okay.
Jadi and we covered pretty much all the brands available for trucks.
Okay.
And then brake fluid, it's basically they're just using either .3 or .4. Jadi quite common products. Radiator coolant is only one type anyway. Jadi quite common. Yang mungkin lebih personalized mungkin ke like suspension parts, bolts and nuts. Maybe it changes with the models, like with the new models coming out.
Okay. And most of these companies are multinational, or they're domestic yang I'm guessing it's a B2B.
Yeah, it's B2B.
B2B deal,
B2B,
right?
B2B.
So
but lately, like the past 10 years, maybe we tap into the aftermarket industry as well.
I see. But I'm guessing it's a small sliver of the total.
It's
it's
growing.
growing.
Actually.
It's growing,
especially during this time, the past couple years, where the OEM market really plummeted because of the EVs coming in.
Yeah.
Jadi Indonesia, the total sales of cars is still the same, but some of them udah kemakan sama EV market yang all imported, not produced here.
Yeah.
Jadi our market juga kena pukul lah, lumayan lah. That's why if we didn't have the aftermarket, it's hard to survive.
I see. So that's why you're going into that. I think that's a good move. See, that's a good move to make. So you're involved a lot of your day to day with this family business, or are you? Yeah. Day to day. Yeah. So I'm guessing since you have, it's more maintaining the client relationship, or looking for new clients, or it's. Karena I'm guessing the contract size is lama. Durationnya juga lama. Ya?
Jadi me and my older brother usually focus more on the industry. Jadi gue juga adalah di industri juga, tapi kita di company yang beda buat bantu urus. Tapi we help each other.
Okay. So you face a lot of the front facing yang the clients.
Front facing itu gue lebih banyak di property actually.
Oh, property.
Ya, di property sector. Karena kalau industri itu kan like you said, we only have few customers.
Yeah.
And mostly OEM. Jadi
you just have to maintain.
Mostly my brother yang front facing them.
I see.
Nah, gue lebih banyak ngurus back office.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Tapi kalau di property, I'm on the front.
Now, property is also a family thing that you guys are doing.
That's a new segment, a new sector that we diversify into.
I see.
Yeah.
Was that because of the challenges you got with a lot of the automotive market and the imports, or you were looking to diversify?
So before all this problem hits, we just decided maybe it's not a good idea to put all the eggs in the same basket, you know.
I see.
So we try to diversify, try new things.
And you spearheaded that in the property segment, yeah.
Yeah. Karena kita sebelumnya benar-benar literally we don't own any land that we don't use.
Right.
Jadi benar-benar kita mulai fresh. We built from one house just to learn how to properly build a house. Then we built 5, we built 10, then now we finally get into the big project.
Nice. And that's over how many years, Will? Lo belajar di property?
Almost 7 years.
Oh, 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we finally decide, okay, we think we learn enough, then we can start project yang besar.
That's a big step, man. So congratulations, especially you leading that initiative. I think knowing with my limited knowledge of family businesses is always challenging, right? It's just the two of you and your older brother?
Yes. betul.
You sort of have to prove yourself.
Yeah, like apa ya? My dad worked really hard to build this apa ya?
This empire
Group,
lah, this
ya.
mini empire for you guys.
I wouldn't say empire lah. Kayak besar banget gitu.
It
Cuma
is though.
a
It's
group of
big.
companies yang
Yeah.
we built. So
Yeah.
I guess it's our duty to continue the legacy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Regeneration lah ya.
Sayang,
Second.
sayang. Then honestly, at today's time, you can have money, but honestly it's really hard. Like if you want to start something new,
Yeah.
it's really hard. It's really hard. So if you already have things that works well, then
Just
might as
repeat it.
well continue it.
Continue it,
Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges in getting involved in a family business, well, it's not really a choice per se, although I've had some guests sort of steer away from their family business,
Yeah,
start their
yeah,
own
yeah.
thing.
Uh,
But what would you say is a challenge that you've overcome?
so far, honestly, so good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Between me, my brother, and my dad, also kita suka tukar pikiran lah. Tukar pikiran. Just keep an open minded. That's the best apa ya, the best solution I guess to family business. No
Yeah.
no ego involved.
No
Jadi
ego.
benar-benar tukar pikiran, share new stuff, try new stuff. Kalau new stuff gagal juga, it's not really one person's mistake. Jadi ya,
It's a collective effort,
Yeah,
right?
it's collective effort.
Yeah. Not to mention, of course, there will be conflicts and arguments within running a business with anything that you try to do together.
Mau
pasti ada.
family nggak family, it happens.
It happens, right?
happens.
So, but one thing that I had a couple of guests actually talking involved in a family business
Right.
is sort of that, for you to start something within that sphere of family business,
Yeah.
it could be challenging because sometimes it really depends. I don't know your dad personally. Like, okay, you want to steer that way, prove yourself first, gitu kan. Was that the case in your case as well? And did you have to build that
I
trust?
guess sama juga ya. Jadi back to my uni day, my college day gitu. My dad's really strict with money. Jadi
Okay.
he always said, if you want to play, in my case, modify cars and buy cars and things like that, work it out. Like, find the money yourself. Jadi di situ ya, I started my entrepreneurship career lah. Jadi I start making parts from Indonesia, exporting to US and stuff. Then I get money. Jadi dari situ, I can kind of prove that I can earn my money juga.
Right.
Gitu.
Right.
Dari habis itu ya, when I joined the company ya learn from basic lagi lah. Jadi it's all new things to me. Jadi ya belajar.
Yeah. And did he make you go through the paces from, okay, you start at this position, you sort of build yourself up, or did you
Betul.
learn directly from him a lot?
Learn from di lapangan, belajar langsung. Jadi during dinner time, during family time gitu ya juga try to
Learn more.
as much as possible from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And from your brother as well, I'm
Yes.
guessing? Dia yang nyemplung duluan.
Betul,
into the
dia
family business.
8 years older than me, jadi dia
That's
udah
quite a gap.
gain more experience. So.
Yeah. Okay. And you want to continue this legacy for your 3 kids as well? And how do you plan on?
Hopefully so. Jadi so far so good. Jadi kalau bisa dilanjutin, why not? Kita kan semuanya tujuannya mau break the third generation curse.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
The first one,
so many people
the
talking
second one
about-
build it, and the third one. Yeah.
Exactly. Jadi ya hopefully jangan sampai ke tahap itulah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a saying sometimes the toughest thing to teach your kids when they want to continue your business is you want to give them everything they need,
Yeah.
but the toughest thing is they never have to experience struggle and ada waktu itu siapa sih, James Cardone or something was mentioning like my daughter will never experience poverty and my experience through poverty was what shaped me to who I am today.
Iya, tapi kalau ya nggak tahu ya kalau
What's your take on that?
Because I used to experience like I want to buy things, I don't have the money. Jadi for me it's a good experience to what do you call it, like respect money.
Hmm.
Jadi if you want something, earn it.
Hmm.
Nggak cuma minta. Like my kids, they will have everything they need, but probably not everything they want.
Interesting.
Jadi that's the way I kind of want to teach my kids.
And that's how your dad taught you as well growing up, I guess.
Yeah, but
The whole
and
car
so far,
thing.
I think it works. It works.
And it helps that he's a car guy. I'm guessing he's a car guy.
Yeah,
He's a
he's also a
599
car guy. Yeah.
And your brother juga enggak?
My brother is a car
He's
guy.
good. Wow.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
I'll
I say
find
why
out.
because it's rare sometimes when the two boys biasanya it's like polar opposites. Like one is a
Uh,
huge car guy, the other
yeah,
one doesn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
cars. Tapi
yeah.
in this
So,
case,
luckily
the,
we all
the gene
enjoy
pool
cars.
is strong for the car guy.
Yeah. I mean we earn money from cars. Our business is like automotive related.
Right, right. So it's good to
Yeah.
have passion
Yeah.
for the industry and the
Betul,
cars.
betul.
Very interesting, very interesting. Okay. So talking about this is our last segment. We like to talk
Okay.
about it. What are some things? Because we talked a little bit about how I think that's interesting that will provide you the things you need, but not the things you want.
Yeah.
What is one philosophy that's in your family? Again, running a family business
Right.
that your dad or whatever you learn
Right.
that sort of okay, ini pakem banget that I'm gonna teach my kids this. Could you think of one
Apa ya?
thing,
Ya,
one
mungkin-
life lesson or value?
Ya mungkin yang itu kali ya, yang like I said before about you can have everything you need, but probably not everything you want. Because to me, back then, what I experienced, what I feel, when I cannot get what I want, I will do everything I can to get it. But if everything's just handed to me, then like I do not appreciate the thing as much as when I earn it.
Yeah.
Gitu. Jadi kayak misal, let's say like cars, like you tadi bilang gua mobil itu I always keep it for a long time because I think I earned that car. Like I work hard to get the car. Jadi lebih ada attachment. Like I feel like I own the car, like wholly, instead of I want a car, I want a new car, this and that. Then it just came to me without working. Jadi beda. Okay, because I meet people like that as well. Like they drive McLarens, they drive Ferraris, tapi they don't work for it. It feels different.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what you want to teach your kids as
Yes.
well. Would you say that that's a philosophy? Because okay, we have multiple kids, right?
Yeah.
You sort of see a different character in each one, and a way of approach is very personalized towards their character juga kan, like.
Yes.
But would you say that lesson is a general value or principle that you can teach everybody?
Yes. You have to. Jadi anak gue yang second and third, they're twins. Dia itu masih agak kecil lah ya.
Okay.
Jadi belum terlalu bisa gue apply that rule. But the eldest udah.
Okay.
Jadi sometimes my eldest is a daughter, by the way. Jadi suka lah kayak ke toko-toko di mall yang I want this, I want that, I want this. Jadi so I always give her the weekly allowance. Then she can buy whatever you want with the allowance money. But sometimes allowance money juga nggak gede karena I wanna teach her that money is apa ya namanya ya, valuable. Jadi nggak gede angkanya. Jadi when she wants something that's overpriced, then you have to wait, save up.
Right. How old is she now?
8.
8. Okay.
Jadi let's say ada barang yang harganya 1 million gitu. Then she can count like how long I need to save up.
Yeah.
And how long I need to save up if I don't use the allowance money.
Right.
But if I use some of the allowance money, then how long I need to save up before I can buy that thing.
Interesting. So that thing is not a necessity. It's not like food, but maybe like ice cream or toys or like
toys, maybe like notebooks, pen.
Okay.
Yeah, jadi not the necessity.
Not a necessity.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I thought, okay. I guess I was mistaken. I didn't know your second and third are twins. So you're expecting another one now? Or?
Enggak.
Oh, okay, okay. I
No
thought I
more,
was
no more.
congratulating you on the third one. Tapi udah lahir dong.
Udah,
Oh, okay, okay.
udah.
Well,
They're-
post-congratulatory on the second and third then. Sorry. I thought you're going to have another one.
They're
Okay,
three.
gue selamat.
They're three now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So more in the
Udah,
pipeline? No?
cukup. More cars, no more kids.
Okay. All right. So what's one piece of advice that you give? You're an entrepreneur at heart, seeing especially with the projects that you've done.
Yeah.
And through the years, I know you've started a lot of things. Some worked, some didn't.
Yes.
What's a tip that you would tell to the young entrepreneurs out there listening to this?
I guess be passionate about what you want to do, and then when you want to start something, think hard, because I've seen so many people say that you just got to do it first and see whether it works or not. But to me, I like to slow down a bit in the beginning and see, because there's so many problems in the world.
Yeah.
Then that means there's so many chances of us starting something, because we need to solve problems, right?
Correct.
If we can solve problems, or majority of people's problems, then it should work.
Yeah.
Then just start from there and see which area you're really passionate about, and hopefully it works. But as me and you know, you started things before as well, then we know that most of things that we thought it's going to work, it won't.
Yeah.
But basically, don't give up.
There you go.
Don't give up.
Just
Don't give
keep
up.
trying
Keep trying.
and learning.
And learn. Yes. Basically, the keyword is learn from the mistake.
Yeah.
Like if you keep repeating the mistake, then
Yeah. That's true.
maybe entrepreneurship is not the way.
True. Or as Donald Trump says it, there are no mistakes. He never apologizes for a mistake. It's all like a stepping stone for the next thing, right?
Exactly.
It's a good philosophy as well. Okay, last question, our philosophy. If you could go back 20 years, so that would be 2005,
All right.
what would you tell William back then?
Honestly, I don't regret anything. So
That's good.
yeah. So I think I made
Well, maybe not
I mean-
regret. What
I
would
mean,
you tell him, like
because-
the younger self?
make more mistakes, I guess. Make more mistakes.
Okay.
Learn more. Because when you're already like at my age, or like 40 and up, like there's not too many chance to make mistakes.
That's true.
So when you're young, make as many mistakes as you can, but learn from those mistakes. So I think that's what I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Take risks, basically, right?
Take even more risk.
Take even more risk.
Yeah.
You were quite a risk taker yourself back in the younger
Nggak juga
days.
sih,
Well,
actually.
you
I'm
think
really
you're more on the safer side? Or?
yeah, I'm always on the safer side. Jadi kayak tadi gue bilang, like if people say just do it first, think about it later, I cannot do that. Like I have to plan everything
Right.
before I do it.
I see.
But even then, I still sometimes things still not working. Jadi yeah, make more mistakes, learn more.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Very good. So to close things off, we always have a lightning round. Probably you've seen this before. But the point of this is I'm going to ask you questions, an option, and you just have to think about, not think about it, just say the first thing that you would pick
Okay.
without too much thinking. Okay? Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Track day or cars and coffee?
As of now, cars and coffee.
We have grown to the 40 plus segment here.
We're getting old.
Okay. Okay. Static or bagged?
Static.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah. Okay. Drive at Hakone or Stelvio Pass?
Hakone for me.
Okay. JDM at heart. JDM or Euro?
I know.
That's
I guess both works, but I enjoy Japan more.
Okay. And the last one is 911 or Cayenne.
911.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And finally, you have one last question. So
Okay.
I know you have decent amount of cars, just enough mencukupi. But let's say you have no cars in your garage.
Alright.
You still have 3 kids.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay. But you have infinite money hack. And you only can pick 3 cars. And another added rule that we added is it can't be the same make.
Okay.
All right, so you gotta pick 3 cars for your daily, for your weekend, for everything. Mau ke kondangan, whatever. You gotta think about those things, all right?
All right. Let's say, I guess 911 Turbo will work. 911 Turbo.
Which generation?
That's quite tough, actually, man. That's quite tough. I'd say 997. Because I haven't experienced the 991.
Okay.
So I
okay,
wouldn't
okay.
know, but I know
It's an
997.
excellent
The
choice.
997 is nice.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
It's always increasing in value too, the 997s. Yeah,
Correct.
good.
And I guess
997 Turbo.
a Lexus LM, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, for the kids.
For the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And then the third one is R34.
R34. That's for the date nights and okay.
It can fit the kids as well.
Okay.
The 911 as well. So practically everybody can fit to the car.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you so much,
Thank
bro,
you
for
for
your
having me.
time. It's been a pleasure to catch up.
My pleasure.
It's been inspiring. Always we have inspiring talks. So I want to thank you again for
Thank
coming
you.
out today. Thank you so much to Two Sudirman Private Residences for hosting us today, Jakarta's newest prestigious address at Jalan Jenderal Sudirman No. 2, soon to be the highest private residence tower in Jakarta. It's developed by Mitsubishi Estate from Japan, so you'll know it'll have world-class facilities. The tower will be a mixed-use development, so you'll have an apartment, office, Andes Hotel, and retail all in one exciting address. Don't forget to check them out on our link below. And also for Nitro Coffee for supplying the caffeine that we needed for today. You had yours before, but
Yes,
I'm
yes.
still working on mine. So there you have it, folks. William Wijaya, also known as Bakajin on Spirit Talks, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank
bro.
you so much, bro.
Thank you,
Thank
bro.
you.
That was a good conversation. Thank you, man.